located smack dab in the middle of Milwaukee and Green Bay, Wisconsin. And just a stone's throw away from Lake Michigan is Elkhart Lake and Road America, site of tonight's first, or well, not first, but one and only road race here on the schedule. CRN's live coverage here of the CORE Xfinity Series, round number 7 here at Road America, and it's going to bring out some of the roadies out here, see how they can handle this this track out here. Certainly the ones that are not fans of the road just going to look to survive here tonight, but it's been a pretty good season here. A lot of different parity out there, a lot of different winners, as we've had 6 different winners through the 5 different winners through the first 6 races of the season. So been very nice out here so far. We'll see who can grab win number 7 here on the season, but I'm looking forward to it. It's certainly the one test for a lot of these drivers out here, though. Barnheimer joined in the booth by Jimmy Cover. Jimmy, this place is very fun. It's got a lot of straightaways, a lot of passing opportunities, with certainly some technical areas with some undulation out there. A little bit of everything here.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite tracks as far as road racing goes, and even with the Xfinity cars, I've done the race here with the car, and it's a ton of fun. It's quick. You just have to know your braking points and account for that body roll and power trying to get back on that, to get that speed down the straightaway. So we'll see how these drivers handle turning a little bit left and right tonight.
So if you had to pick one kind of troublesome spot here on the track, where would you say it is? You think it's down in turn number 5 where you're coming down the hill, heavy braking, and a little bit more than a 90-degree turn to the left? Do you think it's keeping that speed up there through the long carousel through Speedville? You think it's the little kink in the backstretch and then making sure you hit that correctly? Where do you think is the trouble spot for these guys here tonight?
I mean, any corner can be troublesome, Carl, but, one would be, obviously anywhere where they have the ability to get a large amount of speed and need to brake. What's the desperation that the drivers are going to take or try to, maybe kind of send it, get in there. Once you got past a certain point, you have to commit to your move. So it's just really about finding that balance and choosing the opportunity and being able to make it work. But I think you're going to see some of the road racers kind of rise to the top here tonight. And I no doubt in my mind that you're going to see some people that enjoy road racing, some drivers like maybe David Tilford being up front here tonight as well.
Well, they are out there qualifying right now, and with the limited time, only going to get a chance at 1 lap here tonight. So we're going to have to nail it on that one and only lap. But we'll take a look at the standings so far through the season. And as I said, it's been kind of all over the place here, and it's left us with a very close, tight battle in the point standings. Danny Ware on top of Shane Theory by 4 points. Justin Mons only 5 points back in the overall and the Platinum Gold. Still got a couple guys that need to kind of qualify for their gold, silver, or bronze status, and one of them being the driver that's next in line, that being Alan Elwood, is only 9 points back, but he is still classified as a rookie. Would obviously jump up to gold unless he has an absolute horrible race here tonight, but he's right there in the mix. Looking at the silver division, Chase Waldron leading by 11 points over Sean Dunaway. Tal Owen in 3rd place by 16 points back. And then the bronze division, Dan Phelps out there looking to have a good race here tonight, as well as he's up 7 points over John Crane. 49 points back then to Jeremy Gainey, but as I said, there's still quite a few drivers that could very well get their status here in their division, and could see a shake-up in the points. But we've had a good start to the season so far. Like I said, we have 5 different winners. Alan Elwood with 2 wins. And you got Justin Mons, Mike Moultrie, your latest winner out there. Nico Garcia and Joey Stone are your winners so far. But could certainly see some different names float to the top here tonight, as this is not as easy as just turning left all night. They're going to have to turn quite a bit of right, as this is a clockwise track.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's going to be a handful for some of these drivers, especially if they're not used to turning right. So they got that definitely going in an opposite direction, like the ovals. But we got some hills, we got some sharp corners, we got a just going left and right in a short amount of time. And I think that some of these drivers are going to enjoy it. I really never had a problem with the Xfinity car. It was just learning that breaking point, when to start getting that heavy piece of metal slowed down. But it's going to be a fun 20 laps to watch them go around here tonight.
Well, as we talked about before, these drivers do have one drop race in the season that they can use, and a couple drivers deciding not to show up tonight and just go ahead and use that drop race because they figured it was going to be a rough one anyway. But could see a lot of drivers use that here tonight that are in attendance. But we are done with qualifying out here tonight. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of our 21 car field?
Yeah, 21 car field here tonight, and Nico Garcia will go ahead and take the pole. Alongside will be Alan Elwood, then Galen Wunsch and Mike Moultrie for your top four. Towel Owen and Daniel Wiles will be in row number 3. Row number 4 will be Josh Klinger and Danny Ware. Row number 5, Dave Tilford and Kevin Foster. Ethan Workman and Joey Stone will be back in row number 6. Justin Mounds and Cody Hemingway will be in row number 7. Matt Crockett, Dan Phelps in row number 8. Jeremy Gainey and Cheyenne Cada back there in row number 9. John Crane and Terry Jensen Jr. back there in row number 10. And our last car of the field will be Dustin Phelps.
These drivers are ready to rock and roll here tonight. Just 20 laps here, so it's gonna go. It seems like it's gonna go by pretty quick, but the lap time is over 2 minutes long, so it's gonna be your typical length of the race. But no cautions here are on the schedule here, as there's not going to be any kind of full course cautions. There will be the local caution, so if there's a wreck in an area, they will see a local caution fly up on their screen, just so they know that they're coming up on an incident. But how about Nico Garcia out qualifying his teammate, and first time this season we've seen Alan Elwood in attendance and not on the pole, so we'll see how he does from second place here tonight. But cars are rolling away. They'll have one full pace lap here, and then we'll get going. And before we do, we'll bring in last week's winner. And I don't know if he was ready for it or not, but we're gonna bring him in anyway. And that's the driver of the 84. Mike, welcome to Road America, one and only road course on the season. I want to bring you in here. You won last week in a very rough and tumbling Darlington. How do you feel the car is out here tonight? How do you think the race is going to go? What are you looking forward to do here tonight?
The car's okay. I don't think I have quite the speed as Nico and Alan, but I think as long as we keep it clean, it'll be a pretty decent race.
So is this going to be just kind of survive type of race, or are you just looking to just get away on the first couple laps and kind of fall into place where you're at, and then kind of feel out the car from there, or is it one that you're going to be digging and trying to run up those standings a little bit?
I look at every road course as a super speedway. Just survive. Just survive, and everybody will kind of weed their way out the race,
Absolutely. Well, we'll wish you luck out there. See if you can go back to back. Never know what happens out there on the course for sure. But anybody want to give a shout out to or thanks to before we let you go?
Just you up in the booth, and my teammate for practicing with me all week, and my paint guy.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck out there, and keep it clean. Keep it on that track.
Appreciate it.
That is the driver of the 84, Mike Moultrie, as he's going to be starting at number 3 here on the race. So, Jimmy, when you come to these type of races, these one-off races, whether it be the one only road race, the one only dirt race on the schedule, these little curveballs in the schedule. I mean, does it change the mindset? Is it, you just, if you're not good at a certain discipline, do you just try and survive, or is it, your chance to kind of catch up to some other people?
I mean, if you're not very good, then you just want to try to survive and have a good race and finish as best as you can. You already have drivers that you said they were decided to use this as their drop race, and maybe they'll walk away in a top 5, and maybe another race would have been worse. So you can win a championship on attending every single race, and really walking away with something that's you don't have to accept. Maybe and maybe during Darlington, you were the last car, but maybe you're good at road racing and you can, get a top 5 or top 10 or even win tonight. So yeah, I want to definitely throw it away. I always recommend showing up to the races. Don't be scared of each something new. It just kind of broadens your experience, and especially with these cars, if you run Xfinity cars in the official series in iRacing, they do have the occasional road race. So there's no reason not to try to get out here and get better at it. And you don't have to necessarily take that week off and maybe not attend the official race, but at least get out there and practice and just kind of see how you do. And once you get comfortable. But I think tonight here, everybody that showed up, I think it just shows the tenacity and that they want to learn. And if they're not very good, they're still going to be out here. We got brand new drivers back there like Cheyenne. Terry's had some. He's been on some road courses, but he's had his troubles in some of those. But he's out there, and he's going to give it a good old whirl, and we'll see how they do here tonight. And you never know; they might walk their way up to the field if they just take their time and have a pretty decent race.
About to find out. 21 cars set to take the green, and Barney is waving the green flag. We are racing at Road America.
And side by side as they go heading down the turn 1, it's kind of a little game of chicken. Who's going to get on the brakes earlier and send it down in there? Cold tires, can really spin these things out. You see Mike Moultrie getting a little loose there, but he's going to fall back into P number 4 as they head down into turn number 2. And then here's the treacherous spot, Carl. This is what we're all waiting for, and how these drivers are going to handle this long straightaway downhill with that left-hand turn.
Yeah, not too often you have a straightaway in the middle of the track, and it's literally called middle stretch here for this long straightaway. This is the big question mark for me is right here, turn number 5. Really, really pitching the car down, from that big drop off, and then you have to try and whoa it up as well. Not easy. And then right here, turn number 6, same kind of thing. You're coming up and out and under that tunnel, then all of a sudden you have an immediate turn to the left. So great start by all these drivers here tonight, as it is not easy getting through those first couple corners and really just getting through that first lap. But so far so good for a lot of the field. But you see Alan Elwood has worked his way around and got into the lead past Nico Garcia as we head into Speedville for the first time.
Yeah, Nico Garcia went ahead and went up and over that hill underneath the bridge and descended in just a little bit deep, ended up going wide, opening the door for Alan Elwood to take the lead. So he's off and running, and I'm sure some of these drivers are going to hope that he makes a mistake so they can catch up to him, because we've seen him.
Mike Moultrie gets the grass. Mike Moultrie. That's not what you want to do for sure. As they head off now down into Canada Corner. And this is another one where it almost seems like it's off camera sometimes when you come in here. It really kind of throws you to the outside of the corner. But good job by the field. Again, getting through here on this first lap. Cold tires still for the drivers, so still trying to warm up, get them up to the temperature, get them up to pressure. But a lot of pressure on the backside of that number 5 as Nico Garcia may have given up the lead, but he is not going away at all. As we'll take a look back and see where Alan Elwood made the pass for the lead, if it should. There it is.
He was up over the hill, just after the downhill when they were going underneath the bridge.
You see right there, just a little bit of a push, a little bit of a shimmy coming off the corner, and that's enough for Elwood to make the pass. But again, all in all, very good start by the entire field here tonight. And it is Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia, Galen Wunsch, Mike Moultrie, Tal Owen, your top 5. Then you got Daniel Wiles and Danny Ware, your points leader, Josh Klinger, Dave Tilford, and Ethan Workman in your top 10.
Yeah, this middle field here back, I was just kind of glancing around, Carl. Actually, Dave Tilford's going for a pass down the midway straight there, down the hill, as Workman, I think, is going to fall back a few spots like Klinger.
Klinger making a move on Workman there. And it looks like the 69 of Cody Hemingway now getting to the inside, so Workman falling back here a little bit.
Yeah, just, dancing with the cars a little bit. I see some new paint jobs on, what is that? That Stone and Workman got some new paint jobs?
Yeah, some nice flashy paint jobs there in the Ancient World Racing teams.
It should be, everybody's doing a great job. I am surprised on just little small minor mistakes. You know, some just, you know, you gotta warm up them tires, but you can't get them too warm. They'll wear out on you, and you definitely lose time. So I can see some people maybe hold them back just a little bit to make sure they're good for this whole time. I think with the amount of fuel that they run, they will have to come in at least once. So be interesting to see how they do with their pit stops as well, Carl, as this is not the traditional oval type of pit stop.
Yeah, not at all. Just getting a little confused here as I was looking for Kevin Foster in the field, as he is certainly a fan favorite, but out there running the number 21 out here tonight, so I'm not sure if he's got a new sponsor or lack thereof here for tonight. But Kevin Foster out here in the 21, but he'll be the number 8 there on your time and scoring tower. But it is Alan Elwood at the front of the field, heading now down into turn number 1 to start lap at number 3. And again, I mean, all in all, a pretty good start to the race. A couple incidents. We'll take a look back here, and we'll see Dustin Feltz is one of them here in the 77. Is heading off into turn number 3. Just okay, there it is. Boosts the throttle a little bit, and hard impact for that high rock number 77. End up jumping in the pits from there. And then Cheyenne Kata, her first experience here on the road course, and getting a little hairy, a little bit to the outside there. Goose the throttle. You can't do that on the grass. Another one. It seemed like heavy impact right there, but I mean, it wasn't enough to throw the front bumper off, but it was enough to break the engine. So kind of crazy. It's I guess the way you go into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, she's out here trying to learn too, so it's different. So like, you know, these drivers are trying to get these cars to turn, Carl, and you only have so much grip that you can use in the front tires, and you know, basically you should only be doing, you know, one thing at once, and you know, whether it's steering, braking, or on the gas, and hopefully going in a straight line. But when you start combining the two, or you know, maybe you're driving with 2 feet and you're a little bit in the gas, you're trail braking, you're turning, you just max out that grip on the tires, and usually end up pushing wide. So it just takes a lot of time, and it is a skill set that drivers have to learn. Mike Poultry looking to make a move on the inside on that downhill there on the number 13 on Galen Wunsch, but ends up Galen holds the position as Alan Elwood is still out front over Nico Garcia. And for your 1, 2, and 3, 4 is Galen Wunsch and Mike Poultry. Tal Owen back there in P number 5, and then you got the good old battle mid-pack there, starting with Daniel Wiles, Danny Ware, David Tilford. Good battle right there for right now, and I think Cody Hemingway's not too far back either, so I think you're going to see him stretch out here, Carl, but I think the drivers are just going to try to survive.
How about this, as we see some early pit stops here. Completion lap number 3, Daniel Wiles into the pits, Danny Ware in the pits as well. So not sure what the situation is here, but I mean, if this is their scheduled pit stop, they're one and only. Very, very interesting call here, but I mean, you got to think, Jimmy, one of the biggest things here on road courses, especially if you're one of the faster cars towards the front, is you want to have a pit stop where you're getting back out in clean air. And I mean, you know, for these guys, if they can make it to the end from here, they're going to have plenty of clean air. They're coming out, they're going to be way behind the field, and they can just go in and put their laps down as quickly as possible. It's getting close there with Terry Jansen coming up on them, but it looks like they'll both get out ahead of them, ahead of Terry. So, I mean, it could be a really good strategy here for both Wiles and Ware if they can get out there and put some hot laps down.
Yeah, and some people don't think about that, because I mean, you think it's hard to pass on an oval. It can be extremely difficult passing on a road course. You know, you're waiting because you're racing the racetrack. You know, and then you know, obviously you got the other drivers out there, and you're kind of hoping they mess up. Most people, if you're fast, they're gonna just kind of run away, and everybody kind of spreads out. The only way you can really catch somebody is if they make a mistake or they burn up their tires and then they become slow. So you really just got to kind of wait for those things to happen. So while you're out there, you just got to take your time, run your pace, and you know, finish where you finish, and hopefully you can make less mistakes. You know, it wasn't, but last weekend, or this past weekend, where a bunch of us went out there and you know, running the 24-hour event, and a lot of it was just it wasn't necessarily the fastest guy that won the splits. It was the guy that was able to, not get a drive-through, not collect a meatball, not, get into another car, not spin off the track. So there's a lot of time that can be made just by just being clean. So, like I said, it's good. It's a good one here so far. Everybody is spread out. There is not many battles on the track right now. The only one is right now, I think David Tilford and Cody Hemingway are pretty close. And back there, Danny Ware and Terry Jansen are close as well. So a couple battles on the track, but everybody's starting to spread out.
Let's send a shout out to those here in attendance. We got Barry out there. I do like the comment there from Kelly. I'd rather be racing on. It seems like a bumper sticker or a T-shirt. But I hear you, and I believe you, and especially here on a road course. I'm sure you'd love to be out here throwing it down with these guys. But it's been a good race so far, good start. Not too many issues or incidents here. As we just say that, looks like Dustin Feltz had a bit of a moment here again in the 77. This is coming down in turn number 5. And the one thing that's good about turn number 5 is a lot of runoff here. So able to save it there, just go through the kitty litter a little bit and get it back on track. So not too crazy there, but going back on track right by our leader. So being very cautious. So it's a really good job of entering back on the track there for the 77. But it is all Alan Elwood out front here. It's starting to pull for once. He finally didn't have a single turn speed, but he is out there right now. He's got the race speed. He's got 3.6 seconds between him and Nico Garcia at the front of this field. Closest battle right now is still waging on for 6th and 7th between Dave Tilford and Cody Hemingway. Other than that, it's been spread out. Getting a little closer between the teammates here. The back half of the top 10, Joey Stone in 9th and Justin Mons in 10th. But I mean, Jimmy, I gotta say, I mean, 21 cars out here. Certainly, I'm sure there's a decent amount of them that have some kind of road experience, but probably, at least a handful that don't. Pretty damn good start here so far.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. These cars are a handful, Carl. They have a lot of power. They're heavy. The brakes suck.
How do you really feel?
The list goes on and on and on. I when I first started iRacing, that's all I did was ovals, and then I got introduced to web racing, and I'm still not very fast, but I enjoy it just so much. But I just know coming out here and actually running these cars here, and it's a huge difference between running the Xfinity car here and say an LMP2 or a GT3, heck, even a GT4. I was just before the races, the race here tonight, I was at Spa with the GT4 just practicing. I was thinking about maybe doing an official later on this week, but it just, the difference between the cars is amazing. It was, obviously these cars are faster in a straight line, but the cornering, it really takes talent and patience. More patience than some people want to, because maybe they're used to that cornering of the GT3 or LMP2.
Well, even braking too. I mean, there's a lot of places here that you can easily lock up the brakes, and they handle pretty well when you lock up the brakes. They'll still, for the most part, stay straight unless you're really kind of braking on an angle coming in. But you're probably going to miss your turning point. You're probably going to slide right through it, and that's where the braking is going to hurt you. But again, these drivers doing a fantastic job out here so far. You got Alan Elwood in the lead by 4.2 seconds. We do have some more pit stops. Mike Moultrie coming in the pits, and we had a few others drop off in the pits as well. So I'm guessing these drivers may be able to make it all the way to the end from here, unless maybe this is a two-stop race and they're kind of splitting up. So we'll see how this all plays out, but good battle right here still with Cody Hemingway and Dave Tilford as they both made their way around Tal Owen, who's been sliding back. Gets passed now by Ethan Workman. So not sure what's happening here to Owen as he slid back now 3 positions just on this lap. Went from 4th all the way back to 7th, but that's going to move Tilford up to 4th. Cody Hemingway up to 5th. Ethan Workman now up into 6th. Then you got Joey Stone, Justin Mons, Josh Klinger rounding out your top 10. Kevin Foster now back up into 11th. Mike Moultrie with his pit stop is in 12th. John Crane, Daniel Wiles, and Dan Phelps going to round out your top 15.
You're already down to 14 laps, so 6 laps down. And I think the race is going as expected. Some drivers still working on the car and trying to keep it on the track, and others in some good battles, just like the one for now 4th and 5th with Dave Tilford and Cody Hemingway. And I think the early pit strategies, they're gonna pay. They could pay off for some of these drivers. Maybe somebody's gonna try just to do a one stop. Are the tires gonna hold on that long, or is it that much of a difference between times? So I think everybody's trying a little bit of something, especially if they're not up front. So right now, the guy that is up front is Alan Elwood, and he's got a 3.7 second lead over Nico Garcia. So I see Terry Jansen just got involved in the incident again.
Let's take a look and see what happened to the 78 here. This is coming down into Canada corner. It just gets a little bit loose, a little bit of trip through the grass, and then had to lock it up. But luckily for him, there's nobody else around him, so able to get him back on track. No harm, no foul there for the 78. Certainly very easy to kind of dip the tires off the track here in a lot of these places. As you see right there, John Crane, a little bit wide, going to lose a couple spots right there and slide on back. But that was the two guys that bit here early. That's Daniel Wiles and Danny Ware, still stuck to each other. Not teammates, but kind of acting like teammates here tonight. Both of them pitting here on lap number 3. We'll see how far they stretch it. I mean, again, I think around lap number 10 is going to be the telltale mark. If guys can make it to lap 10, then it's a one-stop race. But I don't know if these guys can make it 17 laps after pitting on lap number 3. But I mean, that's why we're up here in the booth, and these guys are down there. We don't have to worry about that. We just get to watch, the 35 different strategies. But a couple of more guys in the pits now. Cody Hemingway, 4th, 5th, and 6th, as Tilford and Workman going to join him in the pit lane. It's like Tal Owen is going to go by, as is Justin Mons. So 3 more takers in the pit lane this time, and it's really funny seeing 2 here, 3 here, and not seeing that one gigantic pack come into the pits on a road course. Typically, you see 1 or 2 laps is where you'll see everybody come in on those couple laps, but these guys are really spreading it out here tonight.
Yeah, and you're going to see that here and there. Just road racing is obviously different, and they're not packed together, and so they want to get in, they want to get the stop. If they feel the tires are just kind of washing all over the place, maybe they're locking them up, Carl, and they're just the tires are really toast and there's just no grip. So if they just plan on getting trying to finish the race in a decent position, they might just be taking that chance, and it's like, hey, let's go get new tires and let's just be safe out there.
Cody Hemingway was able to get out ahead of Dave Tilford from the pit stop, and you see Daniel Wiles and Danny Ware are able to work their way around too. So the guys that were up there in 4th, 5th, and 6th are now behind these 2 drivers here that pit on lap number 3. So the short pit certainly working out very nicely here, as a pass by Danny Ware on Daniel Wiles now. As Wiles got a little bit loose, they're going into turn number 5. See if he can collect it back up and run down the 100 machine. But out front, it is still Alan Elwood, as he is out there to a 3.8 second lead. It's kind of been stationary for a little bit here, and Nico Garcia maybe finding a little bit of pace late in this run. But he is still in 2nd place. Galen Wunsch, Justin Mons, Joey Stone, Talon Owen, Mike Moultrie, Kevin Foster, Josh Klinger, and Danny Ware are now your top 10.
I'm just watching Ethan Workman go off track there a little bit, just nice and easy. Everything. Oh, a little slide there by the 5. So he's still pushing it pretty hard, trying to increase that lead over Nico Garcia. So there's no holding back here for the 5, even though he has a nice lead over Nico Garcia.
But yeah, he must have done it right there in that first sector, because he was only up by a little under 4 seconds. All of a sudden now he's over 5 seconds in the lead. But the last lap, he was only about 0.7 of a second faster. So pretty interesting, as driving hard like he typically does. I mean, Alan Elwood doesn't really leave too much left in the tank, in the tires, going through these corners, whether it's on an oval or clearly on a road course as well. And doing a fantastic job, looking for win number 3 here on the season. Talk to him how many times do you think you have a chance to get back in this championship? I mean, he's missed a race, so he's already used his drop race, but he's got 2 wins on the season so far and 4 for 4 in the top 5. So very interesting to see what he can do. See what he can do with the rest of this the season. Actually, sorry, missing 2 races. So he's used 1 drop race and missed another one, and still 4th in the points. Just goes to show you how good this 5 has been when he's actually been here.
Yeah, just kind of looking at IR. I know it can mean something, it can mean nothing, but looking at some of these drivers, I believe their IR rating is based on road racing. So if that's the case, Alan Elwood's no slacker when it comes to road racing, as he has just over 4K I rating. Same thing with Nico Garcia. There's actually, maybe somebody that's having a little bit of issues, but has a 5,000 rating there is Ethan Workman. So, that could just be maybe Ethan Workman is, if when he does road race, he's maybe in a GT3 car. And like I said, it's a huge difference. So, I mean, it just kind of goes to show you where kind of everybody's maybe skill level might be, but, getting around here in the Xfinity car is a challenge.
Top 3 in the pits here: Elwood, Garcia, Wunsch, all in the pits. We'll see if Justin Mons is going to stay out there and try and lead a lap, if he's going to bring the 41 in the pits. I think he's back so far that even if he stays out, he may not be able to lead a lap, but he is going to turn to the right and head into pit lane, as is his teammate right behind there, Joey Stone. So top 5 now in the pits. And it looks like Tal Owen is going to stay out. We'll see if he can lead a lap. Definitely seen some different strategies as to when guys come in, but also what they do. We've seen a couple of drivers elect to just take fuel only, and quite a few of them taking tires, as they probably feel like they're wearing off pretty good. But right there, you see, not only did Tal Owen make it on by, he is yet to pit, but Mike Moultrie pit on lap number 5. The short pit by 4 laps gets him ahead of your leader, Alan Elwood. So now Moultrie in second, Elwood right behind him, though. Again, Moultrie said in the pre-race there, he doesn't think he has the speed that the 5 or the 26 has. But I mean, if he can do this right here, just get out in the lead and lead a lap if he can. If Elwood will let him lead a lap, I guess we'll see. No, we'll see here in a half a lap. But I mean, the fact that he's gained this much time on Elwood, as I was going to say, maybe see a pass here already, but the fact that he's gained this much time on your leader, who had about a 6-second gap on everybody, very interesting to the finish of this race. And Moultrie not giving up, still fighting, but he's going to lose the battle here, as he's going to fall into second. We'll see how that works out, though, for the rest of the race. I mean, that is a big gain on the short pit.
Yeah, huge gains there by Mike Moultrie. And yeah, I think if he can make it to the end, he'll find himself, with a solid top 5, at least. But you have a few other drivers out there. You got Nico Garcia that's gonna want to come up through there, and he's got them. I don't know if he's just got if he went and got tires, but I would assume so, seeing that he fell back just a little bit. That he had a bad pit entry.
This battle here with Galen Wench and Kevin Foster. Kevin Foster moves to the side, lets him by, and then Wench blows the corner, takes it through the kitty litter. So Kevin Foster going to take that position right back and stay in 5th. As we've got a few drivers that have yet to come in the pits, taking a look through the rundown. 3rd place, Tal Owen. 5th place, Kevin Foster. And then at 10th and 11th, Josh Klinger and Ethan Workman have yet to come in, as well as back in the pack, the 15th place, Dan Phelps, and 16th, Matt Crockett, all have yet to come into the pit lane and take their one and only pit stop here. Looks like it's going to be a single stop race here tonight. Again, I'm not sure how far they can make it on fuel, but it seems they could at least make it on a one-stop race, as now we'll see Kevin Foster bring in the 21/number 8 into the pits. Tyler Owen in front of him did come in the pits as well. So it is back to the front with Alan Elwood, Mike Moultrie now in second place. And then you got another 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds back to Nico Garcia. So again, Moultrie was up there in the top 5, but now in second and got a pretty good gap on third and a huge gap on fourth place with Bunch having that issue going off track. He is 17 seconds behind your leader. And then you got Danny Ware, Daniel Wiles now in at 5th and 6th. That pit very early. The first one's come in the pits on lap number 3. Up there battling for the top 5.
Yeah, Ethan Workman continuing to have problems as he was locked it up. They said he crashed, but he just kind of locked it up, and he was able to save it as a few drivers made it by him. So Ethan Workman really trying to push that car, and just a little bit too much there in that last attempt, where he spun himself out.
Let's take a look at a little bit of lock up here, and it's very easy to do with these cars. There we go.
Yeah.
And that's the lock up coming out of the corner, just keeping off the wall. So good job and a good save there by the 020.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's no feat to get these cars around here, and they're doing pretty good lap times. You know, 2:13s by the leader, and even then some of the drivers on the back, you know, running in the 2:20s. That's still respectful around here, Carl. It is really challenging to get around here, and you know, it's just how comfortable are you with the car, and getting to slow down, making that turn, not burning up the tires too much, and continue to, you know, get around here and hopefully have enough fuel to make it halfway, or like Mike Moultrie, you see him coming down pit lane now, so he was able to take that pit stop and work his way up to the front there for just a short amount of time, but he's going to bring it in one more time.
That's what I want to hop on board here for. Mike Moultrie back in the pits. This thing may not be a one pit stop race after all, and you hear it right there. Alan Elwood clutching in, heading into turn number 1. We're right on board here, and just give you an idea, show you a lap here around Road America, and while we do, crank it up here and give everybody out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it. sights and sounds here of the CORE Xfinity Series, and did get to see some sights, and that is the drivers coming in for a second pit stop. This is not going to be a one-stop strategy, at least for a majority of the field. A lot of them coming in for their second pit stops, including your leader there, Alan Elwood. Mike Moultrie also in, as was Nico Garcia, and a lot more coming in pits yet. But right now, your leader is Galen Winch in the 13. He's got a 12-second lead over the field. He pit on lap number 9, so we'll see if he decides to try and stretch this thing out. I mean, stretching a lap or maybe 2 on an oval, it can be done with quite a bit of clutching. But when you're talking about the size of the track that we got here at Road America, it's not exactly easy to save a lap, let alone 2.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Galen come in here eventually. I think he's just trying to stretch it out as long as possible right now. Enjoy that clean air. Enjoy the nobody around him. He's got a few laps of fuel in. He just kind of got to decide, whether he wants some tires or not. So right now it just looks like he's just kind of enjoying himself up front. The gap is coming down slowly. Nothing too extreme, to be honest. So he's got a pretty good pace going on.
Drivers working back and forth for sure, and sliding a little sideways for some of them, getting through these corners. As like Jimmy said multiple times, it's not easy getting these cars around here. You can see Justin Mons now getting a little bit of pressure behind by Daniel Wiles, and not too far behind them is Kevin Foster as well, trying to get up here in the mix. This is the battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th, and really a top 10 here tonight is probably a very good finish for a lot of these drivers, and they'd be more than happy to grab a top 10 as Cody Hemingway now sacrifices 3rd place, comes in to make his second pit stop. We'll see where he comes out onto the track, but you see, as you would say, the Skittles are all over the track right now, as this field is really spread out.
Yeah, they definitely all spread out now, Carl. No cautions to kind of keep them or group them back in when the incidents happen. You're seeing, I think, driver fatigue happening. We're seeing a lot of just a little off tracks and people coming in pits and stuff like that. So, but this race will continue here. There's only a few laps remaining, but I need to step out, catch the flight over to Myrtle Beach to hit up UCRL. They got 150 laps over there, so wish the best luck for the rest of the drivers here for the remainder of the race. And obviously, again, just a shout out to all the drivers who showed up here tonight.
Yeah, pretty much the exact opposite here. Is we got a big old road course going to a short track over there at Myrtle Beach for UCRL, but certainly tune into UCRL after the race here for CORE Xfinity, as they put on a great show. Hopefully get a nice sized field over there for the short track at Myrtle Beach Speedway. But Galen Winch still is your leader right now, 10 seconds in the lead, but he's most likely needs to make a pit stop here before this thing finishes off. So that's going to have Alan Elwood in 2nd, Mike Moultrie in 3rd, then you got Nico Garcia, Tal Owen, your top 5, Danny Ware, Justin Mons, Cody Hemingway, Kevin Foster, and Daniel Wiles, your top 10. But taking a look at the last pits for all these drivers in the top 10, Tal Owen last pit on lap number 10, so it'd be very interesting to see if he can stretch that thing all the way out to the end and go 10-10 for his pit stops. But everybody else pit at least on lap number 11, if not later, so we should be able to see everybody make it to the end from here. Galen Winch is still your leader, and he's the one that's really got to stretch it and got to make it an extra 2 laps here. Pitting on lap number 9, he's going to have to run 11 laps here on this second stint and make it all the way to the end, but we got 5 laps to go. So I want to give a shout out again to everyone tuning in here tonight for the race, and give them so yet hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. As we said, we got the race right here, the CORE Xfinity Series. We got UCRL coming up next. We got, I think, 1 or 2 other broadcasts going on right now, as well with Dylan having his broadcast over for the Demon Truck Series. So plenty of racing here, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday here on CRN. But already in talks about another special event. So keep your eyes out, keep your ears open, and get on up in here if you're looking to get into a special event here for Cedar Rapids. Last one that we had, the Searing Coke 300, very good one, as the 13 slides a bit wide. That's not what you want to have if you're Galen Lynch. Gets it back on the track, lost a good amount of time right there though. If he's trying to make this thing to the end, he needs as much gap as possible to be able to save. But now that gap has come down to 6.5 seconds.
Yeah, speaking of, well, I'm here on the plane here, getting ready to land here soon, but talking about the special events, we actually got contacted by our friends over by with Crooked Line Racing. They're holding basically essentially a Coke 600, but 200 laps on Friday night, so I'm going to be covering them live. So if you're interested in continuing watching racing here on CRN, there will be a Friday night event over there with the Crooked Line Racing as well.
Looks like UCRL may be having some issues over there as well, so hopefully you can get an update once you get in there into the box and see what's going on for them. But we've got 4 laps to go here at Road America. Galen Lynch still in the lead, 5.8 seconds over Alan Elwood, Mike Moultrie, and Nico Garcia and Tal Owen, your top 5. But I mean, again, for the most part, really good driving by all these drivers out here tonight, and not too many cars junked. There's still, looks like 20 cars making laps out there right now, and I know we got a couple that are down there towards the bottom that are a lap down, 2 laps down, 3 laps down, whatever it is. They're still out there getting experience and getting some time out there and doing a great job. And only Dustin Phelps down there in 21st is the lone car out of the race. Currently 5 laps down, but I mean, 20 out of 21 cars with 4 laps to go is a pretty damn good showing here by the boys, and certainly a little bit of a breath of relief after last week at Darlington. Darlington is just, it's a fickle little mistress, and you know, it's 1, maybe 2 lanes of racing at best. Even though it's a big wide track, it seems like it should be more, but the way the banking is staggered there, you really only have 1.5 lanes of driving there. It makes it really tough to pass, and it got a little rough out there. But you know, sometimes taking the cars out there and turning right and left can spread out the field and let these drivers let their hair down a little bit and get shake off the cobwebs of last week a little bit before we head back to the ovals next week. And for the last 3 races of the season, taking a look at the schedule, and we will have the Nashville Fairgrounds next week. So these drivers will be heading to a short track for 140 laps there at Nashville Fairgrounds before we head to, actually, sorry, that's 2 weeks from now, as the series will be off next week for Memorial Day week. Then you got New Hampshire and Pocono finishing off the season. So 3 back-to-back-to-back races that are not exactly the easiest, and not your cookie cutter ovals, if you will. So we'll see who's going to shake out and become our 4 points champions. Galen Lynch still plugging away here, and he's got a 4.4 second lead, 3 laps to go.
And we're going to transport back here and try to catch the rest of this race. As looks like weather has postponed tonight's race over at UCRO. So I'll talk to you after the show, but we will be postponing.
Well, certainly no postponing here, and I think it's just a matter of time till we're going to have some action at the front, as Galen Lynch has been turning some pretty good lap times, 2:17.5 that last time by. Again, he's got to make that fuel last all the way to the end of this race. Right behind him, though, 1.5 seconds faster was Alan Elwood, and we'll bring up the latest lap times for first and second. You see right there, big gains on the last couple laps, as obviously at lap number 16, Lynch had the little excursion off track. But I mean, even, you know, you look at lap number 14, you look at lap number 17, some big chunks taken out. And if Lynch has enough to make it to the end, those are the kind of chunks that Alan Elwood's going to have to get out of him in these last couple laps. So we'll see how it all pans out. With 3.3 seconds is the lead for Galen Lynch over Alan Elwood. Mike Moultrie is still doing a good job hanging on to third place, as he's got a pretty sizable gap back to Nico Garcia in fourth, Danny Ware up there in fifth, Tal Owen, Cody Hemingway, Ethan Workman, Dave Tilford, and Daniel Wiles are your top 10, but still a good battle back here, as Dave Tilford may not have a, well, he did have a hood for quite some time. Looks like he's come in to take his second pit stop, gotten a fast repair. He's got a hood back on that thing, but we are now looking at a battle that he's going to have until the end of the race, possibly, as he's got Daniel Wiles right behind him. Justin Bond's not too far behind him, and then not too far behind him is Josh Klinger. So we got a bunch of guys here battling for the final couple spots in the top 10.
It's good to see that this late in the race, Carl, you still got some good, some decent battles going on, and maybe some people's pit strategies have come to fruition, and are going to give them a pretty decent finish here. I lost all my stats, so I won't be able to help you follow up on those, but I'll third-party watch this thing live here on YouTube on my tablet, so we're just going to have to kind of wing things here from my end.
So Jansen may have another incident here. We'll take a look here. Running into turn number 6 now. The back end just steps right out on him. Gets it off the track and back on that safely. But again, I mean, as I said, so many cars still out there and turning laps and turning decent enough laps as well. So great to see. Great job by all these drivers out here. But none better right now than Galen Lynch. It is down to 2 seconds now, 2 laps to go. You see that 5 getting bigger and bigger in the mirror here of the 13, as he is hanging that back end out there, trying everything he can to stay ahead. He's got Joey Stone in front of him, and you know, you want to talk about surprises and shockers. I mean, Joey Stone, a former champion here, is 17th right now and about to go a lap down, and right there you see him off track. Will go a lap down out here tonight. So certainly not a fan of either Road America or road courses in general for the 52. Going to hurt him severely in the point standings. But this is the battle that we have on our mind, and it is getting very close, and blinking certainly doesn't help. But it is just a matter of time here. Looks like Alan Elwood has got the 13 in his sights. Maybe even going to look for a pass here in Canada Corner. We'll keep our eyes on it. And yeah, he will take a late dive to the inside, pass for the lead with 2 laps to go. Alan Elwood back out to the front. Now the question is, can Galen Lynch make it to the end? Looks like he is out now, maybe not calculating it correctly, or maybe his fuel calculator taking it 1 lap shorter than what it should be. He's gonna have to limp that thing back. The problem is, it is a big uphill climb getting into pit lane. I don't know if he's got enough to get there, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's one thing about this pit entry. It is uphill, Carl. It does help with the speedy entries, but when you have no fuel, it's going to be a rough one getting up that hill. He might not make it in half the time.
That is a shame for the 13. Going to come up 1 lap short here, but Alan Elwood is your leader back out there. He's got a 12.5-second lead, so unless he has a major mistake, not going to have any issues here. Grabbing win number 3 in the season and catapulting him even further up in the standings, as Wench did eventually have to tow into pit lane. But we are on the white flag lap. Mike Moultrie's pit strategy certainly working out very nicely. He's still got a good gap. You see right there, Nico Garcia back there in third, trying his best to reel him in. He's run better laps, and he's reeled him in slightly, but not enough here. At least up to this point, he's going to need a mistake by the 84. That is your top 3. Danny Ware having those early pit stops. He is looking pretty good there to finish in the top 5 and 4th place. Tal Owen is another one we got to keep an eye on. We've seen right there Galen Lynch run out with only a couple laps, or not even a couple laps, a couple turns to go to make it 10 laps. That's what Tal Owen's going to have to do here to make it all the way to the end. He last been at lap number 10. So he is not clear and cut to finish 5th yet. And Cody Hemingway is probably certainly digging and hoping that he does not finish in that top 5. But it is all Alan Elwood heading into the kink one last time. Just got a couple corners yet to maneuver, and he will be the first 3-time winner here in the series. Canada corner for the final time. And now just the little bit of an S-turn here before he hits the final corner. And navigates the S-turn very nicely. Final corner now for the 5 before he heads up the last little hill and straightaway. Alan Elwood gonna grab win number 3 on the season, and he is certainly up there in with a chance at the championship. Winner here at Road America. Take a look back, and Mike Moultrie did put even more of a gap on Nico Garcia that lap. He will come home in second. Great strategy here for the 84. Nearly going back-to-back wins here in the series. Nico Garcia having a little, I don't know if that was a lost control or a little celebration on the line, but either way, fancy from the number 26 there. Danny Ware, a good job here for your points leader coming in as definitely a different strategy compared to everybody else. He was one of the guys that came in on lap number 3 for his first pit stop. Paid off nicely coming home in 4th place for the 100. Tal Owen is going to have enough fuel to make it up that hill one last time. Great job by the 09. Going to come home in 5th position here tonight. Rest of the field making their way by. Cody Hemingway, good job finishing up here in 6th position. Ethan Workman still having a battle all the way to the line. He's got Dave Topher right behind him, but it's going to be enough to hold him off. So Ethan Workman going to come home in 7th. Dave Topher to close 8th. And then right behind them, Daniel Weil is going to come home at a close 9th. And Justin Mons right there as well. Your top 10 here for tonight. But again, Jimmy, I can't give enough praise to these drivers out here tonight. Great run, and way to keep those cars still running after 20 laps here at Road America.
Yeah, Carl, you know, I'm sure they've seen Road America, and either some people got really excited or some people cringed a little bit. You know, obviously maybe enough to scare away a few drivers and be like, that's my drop race for the season, no matter what, because maybe I won't do very well. But others coming out here and giving it a whirl. Not many cars a lap down, it looks like, just kind of looking at the broadcast. Delayed, obviously, but yeah, great finish here by all the drivers, and I can't commend them enough to come out here. And if they're not a road racer, at least giving it a try. Giving it a try. You know, drivers that are still learning, like Terry Jansen, Kata, and just Cheyenne Kata, excuse me. Coming out here and attempting it and giving it a try, and you're eventually going to get better. It's it does click. It just takes a lot of time.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you're not going to get better at something unless you try it. And I get some people's fear. They didn't want to be a roadblock. They didn't want to deal with the hassle of the road course here. But you're never going to get better at the road course racing if you don't just get out here and make an attempt at it. And you see some guys, like you mentioned, Joey Stone, former champion, we're finishing back there in 16th place out here tonight. May not have been the run he wanted or expected, but he was still out here and still gained some points compared to everybody else. So great job. Again, 20 cars end up finishing this race. Only one dropped out early. So great job by the drivers. We'll round them up and let's get some interviews in here as we didn't get a chance to last week. And obviously only got the chance to talk to Mike Moultrie after last week. But Jimmy, these drivers are ready, and you get to join us for a little bit of interviews here with We Use Your Own, being able to be in the field here. So we'll let you go ahead and take our 3rd place finisher here tonight as soon as I get them on screen here. So yeah, 3rd place here tonight is going to be the 26 of Nico Garcia.
Hey, Nico, it's Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. You copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey, not too bad. One, congratulations on the pole. That was an outstanding lap, but I seen you had a little mistake going up and over the hill that first real left-hander on top of the hill underneath the bridge, and it was enough to give your teammate kind of the lead, and from there it just started to walk away, but you still end up walking away here with a 3rd place finish. Why don't you give us a rundown on how your race went for you and what kind of pitch strategies you're looking at, and where it kind of you ended up being there in feat number 3.
Yeah, I told Alan, he was following me through that left-hander right before we went over the hill. I told Alan, I told Alan, I was like, hey man, I think I'm going to blow this corner because I was just carrying too much speed in there. And I did. It was okay though. I got a little squirrely. He was going to be faster than me anyway. I just think I got real lucky with a good lap in qualifying. So I was like, here, just, I'll let you go and I'll try to follow you and just try to pull away from these guys. And I made a couple more mistakes and he pulled out like a 4 or 5 second, lead. I was like, well, it was fun. It was fun racing with you, Alan. But yeah, he's fast at road courses, man. But pit strategy wise, we didn't really know what to do. We realized going down for our pace lap, before the race started, and we noticed we were a lap short to make it halfway. So we didn't really know if we were gonna just go at it and make a two pit stop run. But yeah, pit strategy tonight was big. Obviously, Moultrie did absolutely phenomenal for pit strat. He took tires second, I believe, instead of fuel. He took tires second instead of his first stop. So that really helped him out at the end there. I just couldn't catch him. I couldn't catch him for second. But overall, it was a great night. I'm not good at road courses, so I'm very, give myself a pat on the back when I can. But very fun racing tonight. Very fun. I wanted to make a public apology to Ethan. I know I was coming up on him pretty late in the run there, and I did turn him a little bit. I right hooked him. I got onto the brakes a little late going on that corner. So I just wanted to give an apology to him for that.
Well, I appreciate the sportsman. I'm sure he will too. But you walk away here third place, finished. For somebody that doesn't like road courses, you sure put on a pretty decent show. And obviously, me and Carl talk about it. You don't get any better unless you get out here. So congratulations on your third place finish. We'll give you a little bit of time for any shouts that you may have before we let you get out of here.
For sure, absolutely, yeah. Obviously, for starters, Jimmy, you. Carl, you guys, big thanks, shout outs to you guys for putting on an absolutely incredible broadcast every single week. I tell Carl this all the time. I got family that tune in and watch, and I know they have a good time watching. So, shout out to you guys. Big shout out to, EDE, Elwood Design Esports. Those guys, they put me in awesome cars every week, and these Supras are getting faster and faster as the weeks come. So, that's awesome. Big shout out to Simrat Market. It's our number one sponsor. Those guys are phenomenal. If you guys are looking for any kind of paints or bases, definitely shoot over to their website. Those guys are phenomenal. Awesome group of people. Great Discord as well. And then lastly, shout out to RRD, Roderick Racing Development. That's my guy. I love AJ. So he's always on the race car as well. But yeah, that's about it, boys.
Again, like I said, congratulations, man. Awesome run, tonight, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys hopefully next week.
All right, man. Later.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 26 of Nico Garcia. Second place is going to be the 84 of Mike Moultrie. And Mike, we talked to you before the race. We get to talk to you afterwards. And I think one of the things that we didn't talk to you about pre-race, which I want to touch on first of all, is how stressful was it knowing that you only had one chance at qualifying out here tonight? Obviously, you bingoed it. You got a nice qualifying spot there in fourth. But how stressful was it knowing that you couldn't make one mistake?
Oh, it was very stressful because I made a couple mistakes during qualifying, but I salvaged, something enough for a top 5 to start. So as long as I'm up there in position to kind of, fight for a win, I'll be fine.
So talk to me about the race now. It seemed like pit strategy was just all over the place. We had guys stopping as early as lap number 3 with your teammate there, while stopping on lap number 3. And we had guys stretching it out and trying to make it a one-stopper here tonight. But it seemed like pit strategy and what you did and when really kind of determined the finishing order here tonight.
Yeah, me and Daniel, we didn't have a strategy coming into the race. We didn't know what anybody was going to do. We knew we weren't going to gamble on one stop. We were going to do 2 stops. So at that point, it was just figuring out, do we take tires both times, fuel only both times? So he pitted early, and since I was in the front, I just stayed out and took fuel that first time, and the second pit, I was like, yeah, it's time for tires. So I thought I was going to catch Alan at the end, but I made a mistake. I don't know if you guys saw it. I went right into the sand trap, I think the lap before the last lap, and I just couldn't recover from that wheel hop. So got it back on track though, but I made it close. So I'm happy with the finish.
So, how fun, or well, maybe fun's not the right word, but how was it out there tonight handling the car? It seemed like the back end was certainly nice and free coming out of some of these corners, and you had to be careful not to goose the throttle too much.
Yeah, the last road course race I did was with the next gen cars. So it is a completely night and day difference. These cars are not road course cars at all. I mean, like I said, it's pretty much trying to survive. Don't make any mistakes. Don't get caught up in anybody else's mess. Um, yeah, these cars they're just a handful. So luckily, I had a clean night. Daniel had a clean night and salvaged the good finish.
Well, hey, surviving second place, got to feel pretty damn good about that for survival.
Yeah, I'm getting some decent finishes now. I'm not having the bad luck. Maybe it's the new half of the season, so maybe I turned a new leaf. So
yeah, I was starting to wonder if you got like different equipment or something like that. I mean, we weren't seeing you or Daniel kind of running up there in the top 10, top 5 too much in the season. All of a sudden, you get the win last week. You come through with a second place here tonight. Does it kind of feel good now that you maybe late in the season here to make a run at it, but you're at least getting the finishes that you probably deserve?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do a lot better the next couple races. I've been on this G29 sim since I started iRacing. I finally made the big investment and upgrade everything. So I'll have my new setup tomorrow. I have all week, to practice with that and hopefully get a little faster. These guys in this league, they are fast. So had to do something.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really good about this. There's so many different guys that are fast, and obviously Alan's tough to beat out here when he's on and in the race. But good job out here tonight. You survived. You had a great strategy here to get you in second place. 3 races left in the season. Is there any one in particular that you're looking forward to try and grab win number 2?
No. Not really. I plan on going out and trying to do my best every race. So,
all right, good answer. All right, well, congrats again on the second place here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks before we let you go?
You guys up in the booth for doing a great job every week, and my teammate Daniel. We did a lot of practicing, and I felt like we were coming into the race pretty good, but I quickly changed my mind once I started seeing the lap times from everybody else. So. I think we did pretty decent. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Both finishing in the top 10 there as Daniel got a 9th place. So congrats to you, to the team, and we'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week at Nashville Fairgrounds.
Sure will. Appreciate it, guys.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 84 of Mike Moultrie. Finally, we'll bring in your winner here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood.
Hey, Alan, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy, buddy?
Got you guys.
Hey, man, I mean, you walk away the winner here tonight, but you were bested by your teammate for the pole, so you weren't able to check that off tonight, but see you're able to get around him early and kind of headed out. We talked to your teammate and like pit strategy and whatnot, and we kind of like worried at all with some of the different strategies that some of the other teammates, the other teams, I should say, were kind of working up to see whether they can get, take the advantage. I see Galen once he's went ahead and tried to pull it off and was almost, but he's a lap short and ended up towing because of the uphill pit road. But either way, you walk away the winner here tonight. Just kind of want to get your side of the race and how everything went for you, as these cars don't typically come to these road tracks very often.
Yeah, talk about difficult with strategy, huh? I mean, first off, the qualifying stuff, trying to get this track in one lap, I probably was a little bit too soft on my lap, to be honest. I mean, I think I overshot turn 1, but there's so many places to get an off track here and validate your lap, and you only got one lap. So I'm just glad I started where I did, because I was really worried about if you try to push too hard to go off track and it cancels. So we're really happy for Nico to get that pole. He was showing speed and happy for him that he got that. But overall, I mean, the race was really difficult to judge. Everybody's probably about a lap short because of the pace lap. And so Danny early on was like, should I pit? Reverse the cycle? And was like, why not? I mean, you got nothing to lose. And especially if you pit now, really early, then you're clear track, and you can probably gain some time. So that's kind of how he played it. And Nico and I were just trying to probably, run it out as far as we could, but try to, I was trying to clutch and short shift and do everything else to save me some. And I pitted and thought that I might have enough in the tank once we started going again. And then I'm looking at the laps and I'm looking at how much I got in my fuel cell. And I'm like, I just don't think it's going to work. So I just was like, Nico, I think we just have to bite the bullet and we have to go in now and just utilize whatever tire we have at the moment and use that to try to gain back once we do pit. Because some people are going to try to stretch it and do what else, like, a couple of those guys tried, and ultimately I think it was probably the right call. Just go ahead and get in there, get your little bit of dash of fuel that you need, and set sail. And so it was nice at the end of the race not having to worry about saving, just try to push and catch the leader.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to know that you have enough fuel to finish the race. And I've been in those situations, clutching, short shifting, lifting to get in the corners, because the short shifting thing doesn't seem to work these days, as I think they just go by throttle position as far as iRacing goes. But yeah, you did a fantastic job. You walk away the winner here tonight. Definitely, you had a pretty good lead there. The pit strategy kind of worked in favor, like Moultrie, and once tried to pull a slick one out as you were able to gain it or get past them. There was just over a lap to go, but in either case, you walk away here a winner here at Road America. So we wanted to say congratulations and give you a little bit of time for any shouts that you may have.
Yeah, appreciate that. I'm stoked. We got a 1-3-4 tonight with the team. It's I don't really think we could have really asked for much more than that. Especially Danny gained quite a few spots from where he started, so really proud of him and his effort because he was really struggling early on to find pace. So really happy for him that he turned it around and was able to gain those spots. But overall, just a really good team night. I know Carl and I have had discussions in recent weeks about trying to gain back points for the championship, and so that's what I'm trying to do. Is of course, as all of us are trying to do, trying to gain as many points as we can, and trying to get myself in that title fight after missing a couple races. So just happy to pull out any win we can, and do the partners that we have on the team proud. That's all we can ask for.
You're definitely heading in the right direction, but. Well, again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
I appreciate that, guys, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a good Memorial Day.
You too.
And that is your winner here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood, third win on the season, and certainly keeping his charge to the top of the standings in play with 3 races to go. One more shout out to all the drivers out here tonight. Thank them for coming out here and at least making an attempt at this road course. It is certainly not easy for a lot, I know, but a great job and a great drive by a lot of them. Certainly has some off-track excursions for some, and some beat-up cars for a couple other. But all in all, I think a really, really good run here at Road America, Jimmy.
Yeah, Carl, I think all the drivers out there did a fantastic job. We've seen the self spins, the catch on the grass, the going through a corner down into the sand trap. With the iRacing's new grass physics and stuff like that, they were able to save it and not put it in the wall and blow engines and stuff like that. So everything worked out, I think, great here tonight. I think a nice obviously a nice turnout. I'm glad that all the drivers keep coming back every single week. The multi-level skill level throughout the field, I think, is a big plus for these drivers. So if you're out there watching, you want to get involved, you're kind of hemming and hawing. This league here with CORE Xfinity Series, they have, they're talking about championships, and that's just, they have an overall champion, but they have each skill set is kind of like their own little running for a small mini championship within your ranking. So whether you're silver or bronze or gold or platinum or whatever it may be, so we got this whole internal thing that thank you to Dave Tilford out there for working that up, so we can have those inner competitions with each other, because you do have great battles through the middle of the field. You have them at the front, and you see them in the middle here tonight, and just even in the back. So those drivers all get the chance. There's some reason to come out here and put the best effort forward. Whether it's the most improved, the game, the most core rating, because in league races you don't get iRating, so we've come up with our own core rating, so you can advance that way. It gives something to shoot for, and the drivers did a fantastic job tonight, even with the little mistakes. But I'm very proud of everybody for coming out. And again, I want to give a shout out, obviously, to the fans, because we would not do this if we didn't get people out here that wanted to see your, whether it's friends or family or what it may be out here, do what they enjoy doing out here on the track.
And it's certainly something that we enjoy doing up here in the booth as well. It's fun to come out here and watch these drivers compete week in and week out. And I want to thank everybody that's joined us throughout this entire run, not just tonight, but throughout the life of CRN. Great run again by all the drivers out here tonight at Road America. Just 3 races left in the schedule. Going to be off next week for Memorial Week, so happy Memorial Week for everyone out there. We'll see you back here on June 4th for Nashville Fairgrounds to start the last 3 races of the schedule, and see who we're going to crown for the overall champion, the gold, silver, and bronze division champions as well. But for myself and Jimmy here in Elkhart Lake, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.